What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If you have not subscribed, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. So I did not expect to be doing this video tonight. The Lakers are wrapping up their season against the Portland Trail Blazers. Last I checked, the Lakers were up by 1 point at the end of the third quarter, so we will check in on that later in the fourth quarter. See if the Lakers can end their season on a 3-game win streak, winning 7 out of 10. It'd be very impressive of Luke Walton and his D-League roster he has to end the season beating all these playoff teams. But anyways, the big news of the night, very surprising news, shook up the entire NBA world. Earvin Magic Johnson stepping down as president of the Lakers really just shocked everybody, came out of nowhere. Magic set up this press conference that nobody knew what was going on. Everybody gathered around to see what Magic Johnson had to say. He talked about a few things that he was unhappy about in his position and why he's not enjoying it. And he said, basically, for that reason, I am stepping down as president. Everybody was shocked. He said Jeanie Buss was not even aware about it. He didn't even let Jeanie Buss know that he was stepping down. So Jeanie Buss, according to Magic, found out at the same time we did. I don't like that by Magic Johnson. He said Jeanie Buss is like a sister to him and how much trust they have and how much they love each other. But yet he didn't let her know ahead of time that he's stepping down and made her find out at the same time that we all did. That's not a great relationship, at least at the moment. If you can't tell her that face to face, he said, I'd be crying too much, even though I'm about to cry right now. But anyways, he basically started in on he wanted to mentor people, how Serena Williams called him, wanted him to mentor her, and he felt like, I can't do that because I'm president of the Lakers. He went back to the Ben Simmons situation, talking about Ben calling him and wanting him to mentor him, teach him how to be a better big point guard, and how Magic reached out to Elton Brand and said, if it's cool with you, it's cool with me, and Elton Brand shut him down. And then Magic wasn't happy that everybody made him out to be the bad guy, even though he did the right thing in that situation. So Magic basically said, I enjoy being the ambassador and the big brother and, a guy you can come to with advice. But basically he's not enjoying it on this side, actually having to run things and actually having to be the bad guy. Basically this comes down to Magic is a guy that enjoys being loved by everybody. He walks in, he's Magic Johnson with his big smile. He lights up the room and everybody loves him. Nobody's got a bad thing to say about him. But in this president role with the Lakers, you got a lot of pressure on you. You got a lot of people pointing fingers at you when things aren't going right with the Lakers. And basically, he doesn't want to be the bad guy. He said, I don't want to have to affect people's lives tomorrow. So basically, with the season ending tonight, tomorrow Luke Walton's job's up for grabs. We got players' jobs that are up for grabs. And he said, you know what? I don't want to be the bad guy. I don't want to have to fire somebody. I don't want to have to not bring back a player. So basically, Magic Johnson doesn't want to be the bad guy. He wants to take his money and leave and go back to being the old Magic Johnson, who's just a Laker legend and an ambassador for the team and just a helping hand if Jeanie Buss or anybody from the Lakers comes to him and needs advice. But I'll tell you, if I'm running the Lakers, I am not going to Magic Johnson for advice. He failed as a coach, and he completely failed as a president. Let's be honest, it was a complete and utter disaster. There is no way around it. Magic Johnson's tenure as president of the Lakers was a freaking disaster. So that's just the truth about it. He also went on to say, I don't like the backstabbing that's been going on. So that's a very, big quote from him. I don't like the backstabbing. I don't know what it means. He did not say what it's referenced to. I think it has to do with Jeanie Buss. I think Jeanie Buss probably promised him certain things. Now, he did say Jeanie gave me 100% power to do what I wanted to do, because reporters asked him, does this have to do with Luke Walton? And he says, no, I like Luke. Luke's a great guy. We don't see eye to eye on everything, but he's a great guy. But he said at the end of the day, basically, I don't care about anybody else. It's all about Jeanie. I love her like a sister. And he basically said she's the only one I really care about in this organization. Basically saying, I like Luke and all, but I really don't give a shit if me and Luke Walton like each other. So basically, he just talked about things that he wasn't enjoying in this position. He wanted to go back to his old life. He said, I have a beautiful life. I'm basically thinking to myself, what the F am I doing here? Why am I spending all my time here when I have such a beautiful life, when I could basically be relaxing and enjoying my life? I didn't really love that quote either, to be honest with you. He said, I was much happier when I wasn't president of the Lakers. So as a Laker legend and somebody who promised Laker Nation so many things, I just don't love that quote there. I thought it was a weak move by Magic, but at the end of the day, I'm not in his shoes. I don't know what was going on behind the scenes, so I can't totally judge him. And also, I'm not going to completely go in on Magic because I don't want Laker fans coming in here and talking a bunch of shit, calling me out and for disrespecting Magic Johnson. So I'm not trying to do that. But I thought it was a little weak that he's walking away now, right before free agency, right before the draft. And basically, he's trying to distance himself from all the blame. He's basically saying, I'm not part of that disaster anymore. He had a big smile on his face, like, I'm just happy to be out of here. He's trying to deflect blame. It's not on me. Everything that's going on in that organization, I'm trying to distance myself from that. It wasn't my fault. It's on everybody else. That's kind of how I feel like what Magic Johnson is doing. But that's just my opinion. I thought it was a weak move. I don't have a lot of respect for it. He said 3 years. If I don't get us back to contending, I will step down. I feel like he should have given it this offseason, see where things went, and then if it didn't go as planned, step down like he said he did. But he didn't hold any promise that he gave Laker Nation, and we all held Magic Johnson to a higher standard. A lot of people looked at Magic like he was going to be the savior of the Lakers. Oh, here comes the great Magic Johnson. I never really believed that. I never really thought for a minute Magic Johnson was going to be there every day doing the day-to-day work, all the hard work it takes to get the Lakers back to the top. And people had questions at the beginning of it. They basically said, is Magic going to be there every day putting in that work? Is he going to be at the office 20 hours a day like it takes to get a team back into contention? And nobody really believed that a guy that's almost a billionaire, that's got this beautiful life that he talks about, is going to be committing that much time. And we've seen reports today and tweets today basically saying Woj said during his tenure, he was basically never in the building. He didn't go out to do scouting. He wasn't doing this and that with Rob Pelinka. Basically, nobody could ever find him. So he was just working from a distance, I guess. But not a good look for Magic Johnson. I don't care what anybody says. This is not a good look. It's not going to stain his legacy at all. As a Laker, his playing career is cemented. The great Magic Johnson. But he failed as a coach in his short stint, and then he completely failed as a president, just like Phil Jackson. I mean, just because you were a great coach doesn't mean you're going to be a great president. Just because you were a great player doesn't mean you're going to be a great coach. I don't know when people are going to learn this. If you're great at one thing, it doesn't mean you're going to be great at something else. And I think Magic Johnson could have been great at it, but he's got too big of an ego, and he's not willing to put in the work. He thought I just walk in on Magic Johnson and I'll just get shit done. It's not that easy. You got to put in the work. You got to build the relationships, and he failed with building those relationships with the players. So I thought it was a weak move, but at the end of the day, it's Magic Johnson. It's his life, so I'm going to respect his decision. And I think at the end of the day, the Lakers will be better for it in the future. Maybe not this offseason, because this offseason is the biggest for the Lakers in years. And I think the Lakers are in a lot of trouble this offseason. I mean, who wants to join a 35-year-old LeBron who's aging, a president who just stepped down, a coach who's probably going to get fired, a GM who's probably going to get fired because I think Rob Pelinka's out the door, a young core who's injury-prone and unproven. That's a big gamble for these stars to take, so I don't think anybody's going to join this offseason. But I think at the end of the day, if Jeanie Buss gets the right person in here, the right basketball mind, years in the future, the Lakers will be in a better spot because Magic Johnson stepped down today, because I don't think Magic was ever going to dedicate himself 100% to put in the work that it took to get the Lakers back to contending. So that's just basically my thoughts. I went over the things, majority of what he said. So, like I said, Magic trying to shift blame, in my opinion. He's trying to distance himself from this dumpster fire that is the Lakers organization. But I'm not going to let him off the hook that easily. I'm going to go over some of the things that Magic Johnson did wrong, some of his big mistakes, and a reason why he deserves a big slice of this blame pie for everything that's gone on with the Lakers over the last couple of years. So number one, trading D'Angelo Russell. It's pretty simple. D'Angelo Russell is an all-star. He's turning into a great player. He led his team to the playoffs, and Magic Johnson traded him. He was the number 2 pick. And I know people are like, oh, he was getting rid of the Mozgov deal. Listen, the Nets got rid of Mozgov without giving up a number 2 pick. If the Nets could do it, we could have done it. That's a mistake by Magic Johnson. And not only got rid of him, but he trashed him out the door. He's not a leader. He's not this. He's not that. And now D'Lo is leading his team to the playoffs. So that's a big mistake. Number 2, not re-signing Julius Randle. Not only just not re-signing Julius Randle, but not even taking Julius and his agent serious. That's why the CAA agency, who's now representing Lonzo Ball, which represents Paul George and Julius Randle, and D'Angelo Russell, they all hate the Lakers because the Lakers don't know how to build those relationships with players. They don't have any trust. They don't have any. Their word isn't worth anything. We heard a report yesterday from Larry Nance saying Rob Pelinka told him to buy a house in LA and then he traded him. So these are these slimy moves that the Lakers have pulled where these players don't trust them. They don't have that relationship with the front office or with the players that the front office should have. But Julius Randle's agent reportedly offered a deal to the Lakers that was like $12 million a year for a couple years, and Magic Johnson didn't even return his phone call. So Julius Randle's a 20-9 guy this year. He's going to be an all-star. He's a very good player, and he would have been great for the Lakers this year. So it was another big mistake by Magic Johnson. Number 3, Anthony Davis trade rumors. You can't put it all on Magic. These reporters will put out anything, but Magic didn't do anything to put out the fire. When Anthony Davis trade rumors were just running rampant all over the Lakers franchise, completely killed any chemistry the Lakers had, just completely derailed their season. Magic Johnson did nothing to put out the fire. He basically told reporters, stop babying these guys. They're grown men, this and that. That didn't help anything. That was another bad move by Magic. And the AD rumors really derailed this season, so it's unfortunate. Obviously, the injuries and other things too, but the Anthony Davis rumors is the big thing you point to at the end of the season that was really the thing that killed the Lakers season. Number 4, trading Ivica Zubac. Nobody can understand why he traded Zubac. I said it the day he traded him. I still don't get it. They didn't even get a pick for him. You traded him for Mike Muscala. Zubac is a very promising young center, 7'1", all that stuff. We know how talented Zubac is. He's not a star, but very good young center. And it's not that you traded Zubac, it's what you traded him for. You traded him for nothing. Mike Muscala, he's a bum. He's not a great player. And it's just that simple. He can get streaky and hit some threes, but he's very inconsistent, very poor shooter most of the time. So you traded him for a stretch 4, a stretch big, just probably to make LeBron happy because he needed another shooter. And then Muscala couldn't even get on the court. And ever since the Lakers traded Zubac to the Clippers have been beating everybody. And the Lakers have just lost like 90% of their games up until this last run here. So Zubac was not only a big loss for the Lakers, but a big boost for the Clippers. And we saw reports saying Jerry West and his friends basically had a laugh at Magic Johnson's expense for trading Zubac. So just another embarrassing moment and another mistake by Magic Johnson there. Number 5, all the tampering issues. Now, the Ben Simmons one wasn't Magic Johnson's fault. Magic Johnson did the right thing there. It was Ben Simmons' fault and his team for even contacting Magic. And like Magic said, he didn't like being the bad guy in that situation when he didn't do anything wrong. But then we have the Paul George tampering issue. We have the Anthony Davis tampering fine that the Lakers got. So just too many tampering issues. And at the end of the day, Magic's just not that experienced in this position. He's not experienced at all. So it's not surprising, but rookie mistakes made by Magic Johnson there as well. Somebody should have told him, you can't, get tampering violations like that. You can't talk about players. You can't do this. You can't do that. Magic obviously either wasn't aware or just didn't care. But we can't put the Ben Simmons one on him. I agree with him in that case. That was not his fault, and the fact that people did give him shit for that one probably was wrong. But number 6, I put it at 6, but it's honestly probably the biggest one. Magic Johnson just didn't work hard enough. He didn't put in the work. He was never in the building, according to reports. He wasn't going on scouting trips with Rob Pelinka. He wasn't doing this. He wasn't doing that. So Magic just didn't put in the work. That's the last one, but probably the biggest one, and that's all the mistakes I can think of. I'm sure there's more. But again, like I said earlier too, just not building that relationship with the players. The players don't have that trust, which means other players around the league don't have that trust. When they see how you did D'Lo, when they see how you did Randle, when they see how you trade these guys and the way you treat them out the door, it's not going to make free agents want to join. Plus, you got to understand a lot of these players share agents. So when you do something to one player, they have the same agent. That's how it is with the CAA. And Lonzo Ball just signed with the CAA, so we're going to have to see how that's going to affect the Lakers. I'm going to do a video on that probably in the next couple days because Lonzo Ball signing with the same agent that reps D'Lo, Paul George, and Julius Randle, not a good sign to me that the Lakers are going to keep Lonzo Ball. But another thing I didn't even bring up, you drafted Lonzo Ball. You drafted Lonzo Ball and you said he was going to be up in the rafters and you're going to do this and you're going to do that. And that's just another guy that you're bailing on. You were supposed to be the mentor to Lonzo Ball, and that's another guy and another thing that he's just outright bailing on. So I didn't even mention Lonzo Ball, how he's going to be affected. We got to think about LeBron too. Magic Johnson promised LeBron this and that. He showed up on his doorstep last summer and said, give me a couple years, I'll get you the stars and I'll get us back to contention. Now he's walking away. So we're going to have to see what LeBron has to say about this, because this is not, I'm sure, what LeBron signed up for. And I know a lot of YouTubers are blaming LeBron. He's a coach killer. He's a president killer now. Magic doesn't want anything to do with LeBron. I honestly don't think Magic Johnson is leaving because of LeBron James and all LeBron's drama. Now, I could be wrong here. I could be absolutely wrong, but I don't think LeBron has anything to do with it in this case. So at the end of the day, this is what it is. Magic Johnson is stepping away as president of the Lakers. And where do they go from now? Where do they go from here? LeBron signed for 3 more years. He's 35 years old. He's aging. You have to take advantage of the small amount of time he has now, the small window he has now to win. And then with Luke Walton. Are the Lakers going to get rid of Luke Walton? Are they going to get rid of the rest of Luke Walton's staff? All of Luke Walton's staff expected they were going to be fired after tonight's game, and now with Magic Johnson stepping down, does that change things? Who knows? We're going to have to wait to see, but a lot of decisions to be made by Jeanie Buss. The other one is Rob Pelinka. Is he going to get fired? Is he going to step down? He's Magic Johnson's dude. He's not liked around the NBA by other agents and other GMs. For some reason, nobody likes this guy. They think he's just a dick. He's obviously done players or whoever wrong in the future, other GMs around the league, so they don't like Rob Pelinka, so it'd probably be a good idea to just get Rob Pelinka out of here too. And then at the end of the day, Jeanie Buss, it's up to you. You got to have a wide search. You got to find the right people in here. You got to get good basketball minds that have been around the game for a while, know what they're doing, and know how to build a championship roster. I would really like to see Jesse Buss get promoted in any way possible. I think he's doing a great job. Both the younger Buss brothers are both really good, so I'd almost like to see Jesse Buss become the GM. Again, I don't know if he's experienced enough, but this is really the biggest thing that the Lakers are going to have to focus on. You got to get a GM in there, and you got to get a president in there, because you can't go into free agency without a GM or a president. I mean, that's just ridiculous. I'd like to have it before the draft. Who's going to draft the players? So a lot of decisions to be made. We're going to have to wait and see. I'm sure more drama will be coming out of the Lakers camp here soon, so I will keep you guys updated if any other news comes down, but that's going to do it for this video. Magic Johnson stepping down as president of the Lakers. I thank anybody who watched this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you leave me your comments. I will check y'all later, and go Lakers.